Good morning, folks. My name is Tim Mailer. Hope you're doing well today. Today is the 27th of January, nearing the end of February. No, nearing the beginning of February, excuse me. And welcome to my channel, Tim Mailer Weather. I'm a meteorologist. I live in Middle Georgia, and I love the weather. And I want to give as much accurate information as possible to everybody out there. Again, welcome to my channel. Like my video if you like it. Subscribe. Share with your friends. Any comments or questions, please put them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. I love interacting with my subscribers and viewers. And by subscribing and liking to this, you spread the word, and that's all I want to do is get information out there. So with that said, let's get started here. This is a pretty good way to look at the current hazards, but as you can see, the hazards are either are mostly cold weather related with some snow related hazards, some lake effect snow warning here. Put the legend up, right? Um, extreme cold warnings or cold weather advisories. The extreme cold warnings are in like the purple. The cold weather advisory is in the light blue, right? I'll hover over this. Extreme cold warning, freezing fog. Um, down into parts of Florida here, you have different freeze watch, freeze warning, dense fog advisory possibly here, it looks like. Right. So anyway, and up here in the northern US, we have a cold weather advisory as well. And what looks like winter weather advisories in the the light purple here as well. I'm trying to get used to this legend here, and it disappeared again on me. So, but you get the idea of what's going on this morning. So for all of Georgia, and other parts of Georgia, either we're in a cold weather advisory, extreme cold warning this morning, until 9 a.m. today. Feels like temperatures as low as 0 to 15, as low as -10 in the mountains here. So we, I know you already know this is going on, but with the winds, it's going to be brutal out there. So bundle up today. Now here's a graphic showing from the National Weather Service showing the low temperatures forecast for your area. You can look at this graphic and see, right? So Atlanta over the weekend, low temperatures in the teens. Up further north, low temperatures in the single digits. Further south, um, and this is, I think this is sorted by north to south. Maybe no, it's not. It's sorry, it's in alphabetical order. So Americas, you're going to be below freezing. Almost all these areas are going to be below freezing for this whole period overnight, each night. So, and this isn't wind chill. This is actual what the actual air temperature is. But and they're shaded in deep blue is the coldest temperatures here. So this must be far northwest or northeast Georgia here. So still, this long duration event, even Macon is going to be in the teens. And this may be record territory here for Saturday and Sunday, guys. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that here. As far as temperatures for today for Georgia, we're expecting temperatures in the upper 30s to mid 40s here, depending where you're at in the state, and sunny skies. So move on till tonight, excuse me. Generally teens to mid to upper 20s tonight with partly cloudy skies for the most part. And tomorrow, warming up slightly, getting to the low 40s in northwest Georgia and near 50 to slightly above 50 in far southern Georgia with sunny skies. So what I've noticed when I look at this graphic is how cold it's going to be for the next, I don't know, 8 or 9 days here for highs and lows. So it's going to be below normal for lows at least through February 5th, if not longer. Actually through the whole period. Maybe reaching above normal the near normal for highs here. So generally, we're not going to be above normal as we were prior to this. A few weeks ago we were really warm, right? But Saturday looks to be the coldest day for Middle Georgia. Not again, just approaching 34 for a high. That's just really cold for here. And unfortunately, that's the day the Museum Aviation Marathon. I feel bad for people having to run that day. That's gonna be terrible. Better bundle up. Even for Sunday, highs in the 40s. So, and you get further out, not as much confidence with the temperatures, but in the short term, there is quite a bit of confidence here, even through the first week in February. So this is the latest key messages for late January extreme cold issued yesterday afternoon. They'll probably update this today. But the in Ohio Valley, the temperatures, wind chills are going to be in the -20s, and they're as of right now, right? So well below normal temperatures will continue for the eastern half of the nation through the end of this week, and then with another cold air blast coming through, um, potentially with coldest temperatures approaching values that haven't been seen in a long time. So, and the longest duration of cold in several decades. And this is from the Climate Prediction Center, Weather Prediction Center. And so, if they say this, then I would attempt to agree. And they're the experts, guys. So you can read the rest of this if you want, but you can see what they're talking about here. So this is day 3 to 7 hazards outlook, and this isn't just Tim Mailer talking about heavy snow along the eastern seaboard. The Climate Prediction Center, Weather Prediction Center, excuse me, is calling for this, and also the cold temps. So just a wide range of hazardous cold here, different time frames. You can see it here, generally like the 29th through the 2nd, depending on where you're at. Heavy snow the 31st along the mid-Atlantic, southeast coast. 31st to the 1st here, right along where we just had heavy snow along the extreme eastern seaboard in the northeast, and maybe heavy precip along the west coast um, during the 29th and 30th period, with no hazards here in Alaska. What's the central U.S. Look like if we start this on 12Z on Friday, excuse me, back this up a little bit. This is the European. We just have pretty cold temperatures with snow coming, just different northern stream energy move through the flow along the lee side of the Rockies, right? You have a Clipper type system diving to the south here, but may bring some snow. Just not a lot of heavy precip here, and some more snow out here in the upper Midwest, the Midwest, and maybe towards the 4th of February, towards the middle of next week, maybe wants to intensify a deeper low here on the lee side of the Rockies, and then bring it down into places where we don't need freezing rain again and sleet. Just hopefully this doesn't pan out. And you bring it a little further out. That's a crazy run there. So, um, yeah, that's that'd be devastating if that happens again so soon. So for the central U.S., for the European ensemble, let's see what we're doing here. We have northern stream energy moving through the flow. We have southern stream energy we talked about moving into the eastern seaboard, um, around the base of the trough. And we get past that period, some more northern stream energy moving to the south. And then the European ensemble as well wants to bring some enhanced moisture and precip in this area here through the 4th, right? And that is where I'm going to end this, but some agreement here with this. So if you look at temperature associated with this, if we can find it here. So marginal temperatures for snowfall at this point, but along the northern edge of this, it's possible to have freezing rain, things like that. So we'll have to see how the temperatures play out with this. So if we look at the European AI model, let's go back to Friday, Trozy. Pretty much the same look as the other European models we've been talking about. This energy is getting going here along the eastern seaboard. So normally dive southward here into the northerly flow. It also wants to develop some pretty strong system here down in the south. If you look at the surface temperatures with this, right on the backside of this, it depends on how cold the temps are, but it's not looking like they'd be cold enough for frozen precip at the surface. So, but the potential might exist for severe weather here along the Gulf Coast. So we'll have to see how this plays out. So the 6Z GFS is currently running. Hopefully by the time I get to the end of making this video, I can go back and look at it. We'll see what happens here. But this is the GFS, the central US, right? Northern stream energy, some southern stream energy. This is Friday, 12Z. Some energy down the south. You see the East Coast storm here. And then more energy diving south through the flow. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's really delayed with whatever's going to happen here in the south and much further north with the warmer temps. So not showing the same scenario with this at all compared to the European. So a lot to be worked out here. Although it just seems much warmer here. So let's look at the temperature at the surface here. Yeah, warmer temps are pushed further to the north here with this. So we'll see what happens. Again, this is a GFS ensemble starting on 12Z on Friday. Northern Stream Energy, southern, meeting up with Southern Stream Energy here along the eastern seaboard, excuse me. And then you have the northerly flow continuing here to the east of the Rockies with the Sunday, Monday, and maybe this moisture meeting up here further to the north. Quite a wide range of solutions here at this point. Not a lot of resolution with this model either. So the ensemble, of course. So a lot to be figured out in the next 7 days, 8 days or so, as we get past the East Coast event. So it's a GFS AI GFS show. To start with, it pretty generally shows the same thing as the other models. We have some northern stream energy, clipper type energy moving through the flow here. And this has a little bit different look than the operational and the ensemble. Once they dig a deep trough to the east of the Rockies, looks like a cold front pushing through here the 4th February. Maybe developing that trough, really digging here again as it makes its way to the eastern seaboard here. Again, this is a GFS ensemble starting on 12Z on Friday. Northern Stream Energy, southern, meeting up with Southern Stream Energy here along the eastern seaboard, excuse me. And then you have the northerly flow continuing here to the east of the Rockies with the Sunday, Monday, and maybe this moisture meeting up here further to the north. Quite a wide range of solutions here at this point. Not a lot of resolution with this model either. So the ensemble, of course. So a lot to be figured out in the next 7 days, 8 days or so, as we get past the East Coast event. What is the UCMET show? We start this on Friday, 12Z. Northern Stream Energy, just not much going on out west here with some northerly flow energy moving through. And this model doesn't go any further out. Let me see, go one previous run. Yeah, it doesn't go any further out, so it's really hard to say. But there's one thing is certain, the cold air is going to be here at the surface, right? So we look at the temperatures. We are brutally cold here. So that's going to be the main issue in the short term is cold temperatures even along the Gulf Coast here. So let's keep that in mind moving forward. So the icon doesn't go that far out here. Only goes 180 hours with this run. So um, with the 6Z run only goes 120. So I'm gonna go back one run here to Friday, troughing just in general along the east of the Rockies, a northerly flow here, right? And you can see what happens as we get towards Saturday. Maybe some ridging building out west here. This model depiction doesn't show a lot at the surface, so I'm just going to show this, right? And some more perturbations in the flow with ridging still here, but you're getting a hint of another maybe a mid to upper level low moving through the flow here as you get towards the fourth, which is what all the model solutions were showing, but quite warm temperatures at the 500 millibars moving to the north here. So we'll have to see how this plays out. But the icon, I think they're all going to show something similar to maybe another Baja low moving through. That'd be pretty terrible if the cold air is in place, but we'll see what happens here. So this is the Canadian, and I'm going through all the models here. So stepping through this, northern stream energy, southern stream energy, really getting going on the eastern seaboard. Some more potential energy moving through the, this is northern stream really, right here, right? Moving to the south. Go through Monday, Tuesday. It has a system developing here in this area as well, around the 4. So, you know, depends what plays out with this, but depends how deep the trough gets out west and where the coldest temperatures are. So the potential does look like it exists for something to happen here out west. Just a lot of uncertainty at this point. So let's look at the euro real quick here. This is starting about Thursday, and this is on the eastern seaboard, eastern part of the U.S. Pretty quiet conditions, northerly flow here. Moon through time, Friday, Saturday. See some, it's starting to get going here off the eastern seaboard, further to the south here, right? And snow breaking out in North Carolina, South Carolina here. Maybe some heavy banding going on here. But you see where the low is. If you compare that to like 4 runs ago, it's up here. However, this could change still quite a bit. It doesn't really intensify till it moves out a little bit. 963 millibar low here. So still a lot to be figured out, but all these areas are still in play for heavy snow along the coast here, all on the eastern seaboard. So I wouldn't take this to the bank just yet, but just going to go through the model guidance here. Like I said, this is a European model, one of the most reliable models out there. And it's been moving around somewhat too, so we'll have to keep an eye on it. So this is the Euro ensemble. All right, so starting Friday, it doesn't show precipitation type on the map here, so you just have to imagine based on where the colder area is what P type we got. It's generally showing the same thing as the Euro deterministic model, low developing pretty far to the south here. And I think there's still a lot of room for it to pull back to the northwest with which most models do as you get closer to the time frame of interest. We've seen it a couple times this year already. So it generally misses the northeast, but the southeast gets in on it here. One thing's for certain, cold air is going to be pulled back down to the south in its wake, right? But yeah, so now if you move a little further out here, you got another southern stream system meeting up here, potentially another interesting scenario playing out around the 5th or the 6th here also. This is the European AI model, pretty new model on the block, but probably it's proven itself pretty reliable here. So move through time, this starts Friday at 12Z. Not a lot going on initially. Low developing offshore. You see, it wants to develop this low. Snow along the southeast coast here. Temperature profile supported, right? And so we move through time and it moves out to sea, at least with this run. So looking with, as of right now, that uh, really wants to intensify this. All the European different models really want to intensify it once it moves offshore here. But the potential is definitely there for something along the East Coast. So here's the GFS model. Kind of a model that not a lot of people like. I don't like it either, but we want to compare our model guidance here, the Eastern U.S. initialized valid 12Z, the 00Z run. You see maybe hinting at some snow here, maybe into parts of Tennessee, but hard to say how this is going to play out at this point, whether we get any or not. But really, we're more interested in what's going to happen offshore here. And with the GFS, really wants to intensify this low right offshore and potentially bring heavy snow right along the southeast coast down into South Carolina, North Carolina, and parts of Georgia here, right? Not a forecast, and really wants to intensify this as it moves out. So, yeah, really close call for the Northeast here. So we still got time to reel this in, as some people would say. But yeah, you can see that so far all the models agree that about something developing along the eastern seaboard here. So it's just a matter of where it ends up going, and that is only going to be really determined when we get closer to the event here. Here's a GFS ensemble. This is 30 members, right? And we're starting 12Z on Friday, which is roughly 7 a.m. Eastern. So you see pretty much the same look as a GFS at this point. Different northern stream energy, southern stream energy getting together right off the coast here. And because it's ensemble, it's got a wider range of possibilities here. So you could see just don't take this as we're going to get snow here, anywhere here, right? It's more about looking at overall when the low develops in the heaviest band. And we can't really tell this right now, but like exactly where it's going to set up. But I'm more showing this for comparison's sake. And, you could see that, again, the models all agree on something happening here. So here's a GFS, AIGFS, a relatively new model. Actually, it was just went into operation not too long ago, so it remains to be seen how reliable this is. All right, so moon through time on a Saturday. Same thing, same look as the other models at this point. Really, you get the low developing right off the southeast coast, deep trough along the east coast here, right, all the way down to Florida, digging pretty far south here, and then it moves out to sea, at least in this run. But um, as with the other models, it's showing a swath of either looks like snow probably along the southeast coast with this low developing further to south than it was yesterday. So yeah, so a lot of agreement here in general about development still. So this is the UCMET model, right? This is from Britain, right? So starting at 12Z on Friday, as we start all the other models, we move this through. More or less the same look as the other ones. Develops a low offshore here, further south than yesterday, and moves it up the east coast and out to sea. Misses the northeast, but gets to the mid-Atlantic and parts of Georgia here. You see behind this, we got very cold air spilling to the south. So, like I said, a lot of agreement between all the models is important, and so far I'm seeing almost every model depicting a pretty similar solution with subtle differences here. So what does the icon show? This is a very coarse resolution model, 13 kilometers. So, and not the most reliable model in the world. It's a German model, but I'm going to show it nonetheless. And this is a little bit different look, just MSLP at the surface, okay? Getting to Saturday, wants to start kicking off a low offshore here and develops it pretty far out here. So we bring the precip map up. Excuse me, it doesn't really bring in much snow here or any precip along the east coast because it develops it further out to sea here. So we'll have to keep an eye on this, but I think this is an outlier at this point. So this is the Canadian, and I wanted to show all the model guidance here. It's important to do a comparison of everything here, starting at 12 Z on Friday, eastern part of the U.S. You move this through time. It's pretty much the same look as the other models. A deep trough on the digging here, low development offshore, and yeah, pretty intense storm getting going here. 995 millibar. Like I said, this isn't forecast, right? And he wants to move it further up the northeast coast and really bomb it out here into the mid-Atlantic. 972 millibar low here, and then progresses it out to sea, right? Maybe some energy hanging back here, get into the eastern seaboard, but we'll see how this plays out. This is like, um, let's see, this is 6 days, 7 days out still, so, but the consistency is pretty amazing about between models at this point. So I'm pretty impressed with the consistency, even though it's moving around some between the model runs here. So what are the temperatures out west going to look like in the coming days? I'm going to just use the European ensemble to look at this, right? And we move through this through time. Pretty chilly, with the exception along the western, the west coast here. You see where the coldest temps are in the Rockies, and even in the interior of the Intermountain West here. But the coldest temps are along this North Dakota, South Dakota, and into the central plains here, right? And maybe the temps warm up, but you see how the cold temps persist here through most of the period. But maybe some warming up towards in next week, right? And you could see some hints of warmer temps here out west as well, with maybe ridging building at the surface. But the cold temps look to maintain themselves for the foreseeable future here. Um, Although not nearly as cold as it was, but still near freezing for a good portion of the country, and even out west here, with the exception on the Gulf Coast maybe and the West Coast here. So yeah, pretty impressive cold air mass in the coming days. So if we look at the temperatures to start off this the central U.S. brutally cold, and you see the colder temperatures building back in the northern part of the U.S., right, and through the weekend, and then they dive south again to Sunday. You see where the coldest temps are now. We're warming up some to the east of the Rockies here, right? We start off very cold to the east of the Rockies too, right? But it warms up some, even along the Gulf Coast a little bit here, probably near normal temperatures. You see the overnight lows here in the negative single digits into parts of the upper Midwest, Ohio Valley, and Central Plains here. Those temperatures will maintain and move further to the east here. And these are overnight lows and highs, right? So maybe approaching near normal temperatures as we go towards the end of this period, with hints at some warmer temps out west here and the south, the deep south parts of Texas, right? But overall, I would say that the temperatures may approach near normal as we get towards the end of this period. Uh, but see temperatures according to this model when we get further out for lows are still pretty cold up here in the northern tier of the U.S. As we look at the East Coast, we're looking at the temperatures again. The coldest temps move through the flow here in the Northeast, right? Um, just tonight, going to be brutally cold, single digits here, and below zero up to the north here. Brutally cold overnight, and then more cold there was spilling to the south. You see it building here, right? Friday, some temperatures in the negative single digits all along the Midwest, northern high plains, Great Lakes, Ohio Valley. So, gosh, it's brutally cold here. So, yeah, then we move through Saturday, Sunday. This looks to be probably the coldest day where we move through time here, like Monday. 30s and 40s getting all the way down into southern Florida. So the core of the coldest air is up here in the excuse me, Ohio Valley. Some moderation of temperatures here going through time. You see cold air is pulling back up here in the northeast. So I think this trend shows maintenance of this cold air. And part of it's probably due to snowpack being in place here that helps moderate temperatures as well. Approaching near normal along the Gulf Coast, possibly here. We get towards the end of this. So when we're looking at 8 to 14 day hazards, we go through the different hazards they have here from the Weather Climate Prediction Center. Nothing for the continental U.S. for heavy precip, with the exception, well, continental U.S. really includes Alaska, I guess. So um, this is on the continent, I guess you would say. Slight risk of heavy precip the 3rd through the 6th, which is rain. Heavy snow, no heavy snow predicted here, at least right now, for the continental U.S. and Alaska, which is part of the continent, I guess. So high winds, again, southern Alaska is the only area here. So pretty quiet, at least according to them, for this period, right? Temperatures, even for the 3rd through the 9th, they're saying the slight risk of below normal temperatures for a wide area here. And I'm not sure this, I guess this line delineates it further to the west, the 3rd through the 4th, but a moderate risk here along the southeast coast down to southern Florida on the 3rd, right? And the slight risk the 3rd through the 9th further to the west, and the 3rd through the 4th as you go further west. So depending where you're at, the possibility exists for continued cold weather in the southeast, northeast, Ohio Valley, and parts of the Midwest. So we go 6 to 10 days out. We look at temperatures. We kind of get the idea based on the 8 to 14 day hazards outlook. However, this graphic just makes it even more certain what they're talking about. Reaching out west, maybe build it into the northern part of the U.S. and parts of the south. But further to the east, colder temperatures will persist, especially in South Florida here, in Florida on the southeast coast, and maybe near normal temperatures to above up in northern New England, below the near normal or above, depending where you're in Alaska, Hawaii above, and near normal to above in the Aleutian Islands. And the 6 to 10 day precip outlook really shows a wide area of below normal chances for precip in the long term. And we saw that on the 8 to 14 day hazards outlook, not a lot on the map, right? So near normal to above normal maybe up in the northwest, Washington State, the deep south, and the northern high plains in the Midwest, maybe along the eastern seaboard and southern Florida, near normal chances of precip, and near normal to above in Alaska, Hawaii, depending where you're at, and near normal to above in Aleutian Island chain as well. I know I probably never be watching from theirs, but I thought I'd like to mention it anyway. When we go out a little longer, further, 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, we looked at the hazards and we know what they're talking about here with the hazards out to the east here. High pressure pushing a little bit further to the east, which is bringing some warmer temps in general to this area, but not like way above normal, right? I don't think. It's going to be either near normal to slightly above but then there's more confidence further west here and more confidence further east with below normal temps, right? But not a lot of confidence. But with the darker blues indicate more confidence. Further to the west, not as much, right? So now Alaska is either near normal or above, mostly above, and more confidence further to the south. Hawaii looks to be above normal with temps, as well as Aleutian Island chain here. And we continue with below normal precip chances for a wide area of the continental U.S., basically all the way from the west coast to the east coast here, the northeast and the southeast. On both ends, the north and south, may be above normal precip chances, the 3rd through the 9th here, right? So moving to Alaska, near normal to above precip chances, depending where you're at, above to near normal in the Big Island, uh, and then above to near normal to above, depending where you're at in the Aleutian Island chain. When we go 3 to 4 weeks out, this is what they're what the Climate Prediction Center overall thinks is going to be going on. Reaching out west will persist. Equal chances as far as temperatures in between here, either above or below, to near normal, looking like 33 to 40% chance, right? So for temperatures, and along the eastern seaboard, generally in the east, still maintaining below normal temps here with equal chances up to the northern New England, below equal to above in Alaska, trending these different ways here depending on where you're at. Looking like more likely above temperatures in Hawaii, above normal temps, excuse me, and above the equal chances in the Aleutian Island chain. So when we look at precip, not a lot of certainty either way. There's equal chances above and below for most of the nation, and above in the northern high plains here, not the northern high plains. I don't, I gotta figure out what exactly they call this geography wise, but Intermountain West, I guess you'd call the northern Intermountain West, right? Or the northern plains. Anyway, I'll figure it out. Equal chances are above for the southeast here, above precip chances in Aleutian Island chain, at least some confidence in that. Equal chances in Aleutian Island chain here, week 3 to 4. So in closing, I want to thank everybody for watching my video today, and appreciate y'all, and hope you have a great day, and God bless.